When have you ever known Coach Prime to fail at something? You haters are going to hate. You can keep on hating. But I got to tell you, he doesn't even know you exist. He doesn't know the haters exist and are out there talking smack. He doesn't care. He doesn't have time for it. It's something. All right, so let's go. Back to the Hall of Fame College Football Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Watkins. And if you love college football, you know you're in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss one moment of the Hall of Fame College Football Podcast. I tell you, you cannot be torn away from what's going on in Boulder these last couple of days. If you look away for very long at all, you're going to miss something. And today was, for everything that everybody thought, yesterday and Sunday, following what was an electric spring game, but what turns out to have been apparently just kind of I don't even know if that whet anybody's palate for what's looking like it's about to happen now. Coach Prime was on the Pat McAfee show on this morning, Wednesday morning here, and there's a lot of talk. I'm going to pull up some of these clips here to let you hear some of it. But, essentially what you're finding out is that, according to Pac-Man Jones, who was on the McAfee show, there's 40 guys gone in the portal right now. The 40 guys that were, with the program before, there'll be at least that many coming back. And as many as 10 of them are supposed to be 4 or 5-star caliber. All of this was by plan. None of this is freaking him out. It may freak everybody else out because they didn't really think that this is what he was going to do. But I told you guys the other day, whenever we talked about this on my show, we talked about this a little bit on Jay's show. We talked about this a little bit on Ty's show, Around the Table Sports. Listen, he's not there to mess around with it. And they're not going to play the guys that went 1-11 a year ago. They're just not going to do it. And that included that receiver that had 150 yards the other day. They don't need him. They don't need him. They've got guys coming in that will take his place and then some. And I know the haters are out there. Oh, haters. I know you're out there. That's okay. Be there. Just say what you want to say. But believe this. They know what they're doing right now. They know what they're going to do. Take a look at this.
Out there in Colorado is there's 41 dudes in the fucking transfer. 41. Is that all? Hold on though. So we have a bonus con.
Is that all he says? Only 41? So see, and a lot of people think this is just him being funny. But guess what? Not even while this was going on, there was a crystal ball for a running back out of Houston, Alton McCaskill, 4-star running back, entered the portal this morning, had a crystal ball this afternoon. This is a kid who had 961 rushing yards and 16 touchdowns for the Cougars this past season. He left. Apparently, also entering the portal. And by the way, Alton McCaskill was the AAC Freshman of the Year at Houston a year ago. But also entering the portal was first team All AAC offensive lineman Cameron Johnson, who is supposed to be on his way to Boulder he was supposed to be on his way to Boulder as well. There was no crystal ball the last I saw of it. Apparently, he's headed that way. Guess what else? Defensive end from Florida State, Derek McClendon II, in the portal, and is headed his way. I mean, this is a guy who had pretty big season this past year for the Seminoles. And I mean, I tell you, Coach Prime keeps on beating up on his old school, getting these guys away. You got, obviously Travis Hunter this past season flipped him from him. This is just a big deal. And I got to tell you that some of these guys, man, it's something else. It's something to see, really, So crystal ball, that's a crystal ball deal. That's a done deal for as far as I'm concerned. Florida State, Derek McClendon, and McClendon was one of those guys that, he was making a big splash for the Seminoles this past season on their way to 10 wins. 6'4", 250-pound guy. This is a guy that's going to make a big splash. Now, remember that neither Jimmy Horn Jr. or Xavier Weaver were there this past week. Cormani McLean hasn't made it to campus yet. Shiloh Sanders hasn't made it to campus yet. All these guys that they're losing, I think what people don't realize is that these were all guys that he was willing to lose. They were just guys that he was willing to lose.
Before I get there, I know what I want. Right? I'm not just making this stuff up as we go. We know what we want, and I don't concede, man. I don't settle. I know what I want, and I know what I'm going to get.
Right. So, knowing what he's going to get, if when you listen to what Pac-Man Jones had to say, he's the one that obviously he's real tight with Coach Prime. He's the one that was able to get him on there. And according to him, he was talking about, or his sources or whatever, were talking about over 40 players that were headed to Boulder before the fall. 40. So, and he was talking about as many as 10 or more that were either 4 or 5 star, make a big impact immediately kind of guy. Everybody that's wanting to toss them down to that 3 or 4 win status, you might want to think again, because that's not what this program is about. This coaching staff is about. This coach himself is about. And I'll tell you what McAfee's saying is so true. When have you ever known Coach Prime to fail at something? You haters are going to hate. You can keep on hating. But I got to tell you, he doesn't even know you exist. He doesn't know the haters exist and are out there talking smack. He doesn't care. He doesn't have time for it. It's something. All right, so let's go to this next one. Now, this is just to kind of let you know what a 1-11 program looks like.
Whenever you meet these guys for the first time and you said in that running back room, hey, when it's 4th and 1, we need one, who's going to do it? Nobody flinched. That's how I know nobody
said nothing.
That's how I know the person is not in here. Yeah. Because the person that is going to get it.
Nothing.
Yeah. Because the person's going to go, yeah. There's going to be
I'll take it. No, nobody says nothing. We have one-on-ones in practice. Travis and Jimmy is talking junk to the DBs, and nobody's saying nothing back. Right? We got one-on-one. We got 2 dog receivers talking junk, and ain't nobody saying nothing back.
Oh my God! You're worried about you're a little bit worried about the competitive juices on a particular side of the ball or certain positions. We need a different type of guy in here because
Nobody said nothing. Nobody's out there fighting for their spot. When he came in and he scared them all into, I'm bringing my Louis luggage, Well, some of the Louis Luggage showed up. And they challenged him, and he said he was going to challenge him from day one. I understand that there's going to be people that don't understand it and don't necessarily like it. I get it. I understand. If that's not for you, it's not for you. But the truth of it is, if you're going to let these guys come in there and just steal your lunch money, this is not somebody that Coach Prime can take. And that gives you an idea of why this is a 1-11 program a year ago. I don't care how many big guys you had, how many speed guys you had. They clearly were not on the same page with that. This is just not something that you can have. And then finally, I'll go into just this last one here. He's talking a little bit more about what he's looking for, what he needs out of his players, and why they're going to win and how they're going to win.
When you've lost this long, there's a spirit of just complacency amongst the building, and I don't play that. I don't deal with that. I'm not complacent. I'm not idle-minded. I'm a mover. I'm a shaker. I can't. If I sit still too long, I'm gonna fall asleep. I got to move. I got to go get it. That's the way I live, and I want players of that mindset and that thought process as well.
In there.
We already know what we got coming in. Y'all just don't know what we got.
Okay. Good. I understand.
There's no way that I could put new furniture in this beautiful home if we don't clean out the old furniture.
Yeah, that's real life.
Like this real life. You don't. It's no takeover in this business world that this is very.
That's
Switzer.
transfer portal.
Wow.
Oh, Switzer. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, Coach Switzer calling
There's no
him up.
takeover in this business world.
I think you're going to be able to do it. Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
I mean, he could go
Now.
anywhere.
Yeah, either way. Kamani McLean, the guy that we got coming to from Florida as well. He's a dog. I can't wait to see him get on the field. We got some guys coming in. When we release the list of guys that we already got coming in, then everybody's gonna say, oh, "Okay."
When?
Now,
And when's it
now
happening?
I see what he's doing. I see now. Now I understand.
There for a moment I was confused, but
Yeah. Scott.
when's the list?
Tony.
When's the list coming out?
Soon, very soon.
Very soon. Listen, again, go back through that just a little bit. He talked to, this is you don't have to love his methods. You don't. There's a lot of brashness to it. There's a lot of, listen, this is how the guy knows how to win. He's been a winner his whole life. We've talked about this in the past. They're not going to lose. They're going to lose some games this first season. I think that they're going to have some bumps in this road, but I'm going to stick where I was at. I think 7 games, maybe down to 5 games, that's probably where their low is. I don't feel like they're going to lose every game. And I think that they're going to surprise some of these teams in the Pac-12 who really don't have to play anybody throughout the season. You had a couple of times that they went out of conference and played anybody worthwhile last season. And aside from the bowl game when Oregon State, stuck it to Florida, there just wasn't any Pac-12 big timers, I suspect that Oregon's going to be a little better. I suspect that Washington's going to be a little better. They actually beat Texas last season. But when it comes to, there's no reason to believe that this guy can't go in there and win 7, 8, even 9 games. There's not. Particularly if this is true, that this list that's coming up, 40 replacement players for the guys that have walked out the door, that it sounds to me like they were pushing them out the door, trying to get them to leave. You start talking about Cormani McLean. You start talking about Shiloh. Shiloh was a bona fide SEC defensive back. He's real, just like Shador's real. Travis Hunter, both sides of the ball, he's a player. Cormani's a good player. Hey, look, Derek McClinton, we watched him play last season in the bowl game. If you're an Oklahoma fan, this guy can play too. And then you've got a freshman, basically, he was in the AAC freshman of the year, almost had 1,000 yards, had 16 touchdowns. Do you realize that Colorado only had 11 touchdowns in total, rushing or passing this past season when they went 1-11? 11 touchdowns. He had 16 by himself. You're going to upgrade that offensive line with a first-team all AAC guy. And, remember what I was talking about, how I didn't think Houston was going to be that good? Well, there you go. Okie Light may have found somebody to slip right in below them. Okay? I'm telling you, this guy ain't going anywhere. And they're going to win. They're going to find a way to get it done because this is just it. This is how they're going to do it. Again, the haters, hate away because he doesn't even know that you exist. He just doesn't know that you exist. Stay tuned. This is drama it's fun for everybody. I can't wait. We'll talk to you guys on the next one. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Let us know what you think down in. I'd love to hear somebody argue with me about how you feel like they're not going to get this thing done in Colorado now. Hit me up in the comments there. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. Help us with the algorithm, and we'll see you on the next one. Hey, you guys all know the drill, right? Say it with me. Smash that red subscriber button. Like our videos. And don't forget to ring the notification bell so you don't miss one moment of the Hall of Fame College Football Podcast. Hey, we even have amazing pod merchandise right here in our store. Hey, while you're here, don't forget to check out all these other amazing channels and subscribe to them too.